Dragon Ball Daima episode 12 was the first time that we ever saw on screen, outside of video games and fan fiction, in an official Dragon Ball capacity, Vegeta unlocked Super Saiyan 3. Now, as we reported a while ago, and as I'm sure you know by now, even though I still get the question, believe it or not, Dragon Ball Daima does take place before Dragon Ball Super, shortly after the Majin Buu saga. And that's why it makes sense for Vegeta to use the form in this part of the timeline. It was after the Majin Buu saga. Vegeta himself told Goku that he saw Super Saiyan 3 from the afterlife and that he was mad that Goku was hiding it from him. And then he later saw Super Saiyan 3 up close and personal during Goku's fight with Kid Buu. Well, by the time we're in Dragon Ball Super, we have the introduction of God Ki and the God forms. And by the time that the God forms were introduced, Super Saiyan 3 was obsolete. I mean, let's not forget, the first fight we see in Battle of Gods, Beerus humiliates Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So that right there is basically them telling the audience that Super Saiyan 3 at this point is passé. So with Daima being sandwiched here in this little part of the timeline, it would make sense that Toriyama would really provide fan service for Vegeta fans. It's not something they had to do. It's not something that Toriyama was obligated to do. I do think that maybe upon suggestion from somebody else, or maybe just from thinking about things and thinking about Vegeta, it makes sense for Vegeta to get Super Saiyan 3 in a series that is after Majin Buu but before Super, because in Dragon Ball Super, there's no need for Vegeta to use Super Saiyan 3 ever again. Yes, we do see Goku use it a couple times in Dragon Ball Super, but not for any serious battles. Once Goku accessed God and later Blue, there was no point in going back to Super Saiyan 3, specifically because of that whole energy consumption, stamina drain that comes with Super Saiyan 3. Now, I've seen some people discuss and ask the question about who is stronger, Super Saiyan 3 Goku or Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Now, when I dissect this question, I want to make it clear that Daima is after the Majin Buu saga, several months after, and Vegeta's been training since then. He's been training. He never gave up his training. When he told Goku he was number one at the end of the Majin Buu arc, a lot of folks seem to really misconstrue that and think that that meant that Vegeta was just going to stop training. That's not what it meant. When he said that Goku was number one, it was him conceding of the fact that despite Goku being a low-class warrior and being born a low class, not a prince like he is, not royalty, in spite of that, Goku was able to overcome it through hard work, discipline, and the study of the martial arts. And so Vegeta took that and clearly said, okay, well, I'm going to learn Super Saiyan 3 because, of course, Vegeta followed Goku in learning Super Saiyan and followed Gohan in learning Super Saiyan 2. And Vegeta himself is a very intelligent fighter, so it makes sense. As far as who's stronger, so the first thing we have to understand is that because this is after the Majin Buu saga, Goku and Vegeta both have been training. Yes, there's no more threat to Earth, but they still train. Therefore, at the beginning of Daima, when they're still adults, they are already stronger than they were during the Majin Buu saga. Now, does that mean that they're significantly stronger? Meaning, could they have beaten Kid Buu at that point? I'm not sure about that. I'm not going to say that they were that much stronger, but they were stronger. Then when Goma showed up and made the wish to revert them into children, yes, that did depower them. It worked, but on a temporary basis. Clearly, Goku and Vegeta, being Saiyans, being the characters that have been time and time again marketed as warriors that break their limits, they're not going to stay down. They're not going to stay depowered for very long. This is why we see Goku and Vegeta struggling with their new bodies, struggling with the atmosphere of the demon realm, but getting it much faster than an untrained person would. Figuring things out, figuring out their own bodies, figuring out how to effectively fight in the demon realm at the most comfortable way. Bulma straight up says in the episode that Vegeta never stopped training, which means that after the Majin Buu saga, Vegeta was probably laser focused on getting to whatever power Goku had, at the very least matching up with him. And that's where we're at here with Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. However, Dragon Ball Daima is only 12 episodes in, and 8 episodes remain in this story, and what we still have not seen yet is Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and I think that's going to give us a bit of a clearer picture. So, the way it breaks down is that Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in Daima, the one that battled the Super Tamagami 2 upgraded and powered up by Neba, the one that defeated him and got the 2-star demonic Dragon Ball, this Vegeta is stronger, I believe, than adult Super Saiyan 3 from the Buu saga. And I'm basing that only on the fact that these guys train really hard and get stronger year after year after year. So I think it is safe to say that the Vegeta we saw in Daima episode 12 would be physically more powerful than the one we saw fight Kid Buu. Goku, that is. The Goku we saw fight Kid Buu. However, these guys are going to continue to get stronger. And it feels like they're relatively close to each other. It's sort of like how in Resurrection F, we saw Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta smash up Frieza, and a lot of folks assumed that Vegeta was stronger than Goku in that moment, and maybe he was. There really isn't enough evidence to say that Blue Vegeta in Resurrection F was a lot stronger than Goku, but I think they were relative to each other, meaning I don't think it was a significant power difference if Vegeta was stronger. They may have been neck and neck. Vegeta may have edged him out a little bit. I don't think it was that wide of a boost. And I think some folks think that it might be because of how Goku went out in that film. But Goku did drop his guard with the sorbet ring. And that's kind of what happened, which was foreshadowed earlier by Whis. So I don't think there's enough evidence to say that in that arc that Blue Vegeta surpassed Goku. There's a couple other parts in Dragon Ball Super where Vegeta may have gotten the advantage over Goku. However, I think with both of them being Super Saiyan 3 as kids, they are going to be relative to each other. And I think whenever the time comes for Daima's story to come to an end, I think that they'll retain some of that power into adulthood, meaning that all of this training they're doing as kids, I don't think is going to go for nothing. I think they will get stronger, and it'll impact them even when they get their adult bodies back. Plus, it's, to me, pretty obvious that Vegeta learned Super Saiyan 3 when he was an adult and just kept it from Goku until the right time. I mean, let's not forget, Goku did keep it from Vegeta first. So maybe that's his little, even in the odds moment. Quite frankly, we know that Vegeta doesn't use Super Saiyan 3 later, probably because he realizes that there's a big drawback with using the form, but just getting it on his own when he was an adult off screen is enough to once again prove to everyone, including Goku, that Vegeta is still hungry to be the best. And just because he proclaimed that Goku was number one during the fight with Buu does not mean that Vegeta isn't going to try to be number one. Granted, Vegeta after the Buu arc never really considers Goku his enemy again. And no, I'm not counting baby Vegeta because that was like a mind control thing. But Vegeta never sees Goku as his enemy again. But remember what he said in Resurrection F to Frieza, that Goku is someone that's like a measuring stick for him and inspires him to get stronger. And that to me is ultimately, it just shows Vegeta's arc from being this tyrant to being a martial artist that is still going to shoot for the moon and do the best that he can. So to me, yes, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta might be a little bit stronger than Goku in Super Saiyan 3, but I think it's only relatively so. We will see what Daima does with Super Saiyan 3 Goku as a kid in Daima in the coming episodes. Let's see how it all turns out. So this is the last video of the year. I thank you for your support all year long. I hope you have a happy and safe new year. Check out the videos on your screen right now for more content to watch. Stay safe out there, guys.